Give me just one day.
Fluent and chill. What it takes, stay real. Chill town, hoop sports, fluent with the feel. Break down sharp like a highlight reel. Welcome to the show, we stay fluent and chill.
Hey.
Hey.
Did it work?
Yes, sir. It did work. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world. Y'all know what time it is when y'all see us. It is myself, my man Tony Tone, who will be here momentarily in like less than a minute. He will be here pulling up on the set, and we will get to it, and we will give you guys what you've been looking for. Speaking of the devil, my man Tony Tone is in effect. Keep saying speaking of the devil. He's not the devil, by the way, guys.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can call me the devil. I'm just confused because I invited the wrong person to co-host.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cancel. I don't know who I just invited.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming to you live. In case you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because YouTube over here has us on Chilltown Hoops Network and Sports Fluent. And then obviously TikTok is the behind the scenes where you don't have the cool lighting and the excellent graphics. And there are some pretty excellent graphics, I'm not gonna lie.
This is what happens when we produce our own show and we come up with all the material. Speaking of producing something, Tone, I know that my man Tony Tone is a rant king. With you being a rant king,
I don't have a rant today.
Actually, you do. You 100% do. And let me tell you why you do. Because in the words of Stephen A. Smith, this is the bullshit I'm talking about. So Mr. Derek White has now sucked me in to this logic of, Tone, we did not land on the moon in 1969. He's on board with that. And now he's spreading this propaganda that this did not happen. Now, Tone, who is the king of conspiracy theories, yes, Wilt didn't score 100.
That's not a conspiracy. That's a fact, but keep going.
Wilt didn't score 100. Birds are not real. We didn't land on the moon.
Some birds aren't real. So some of them are spying on us. But yes, okay, keep going.
Birds are not real. In addition to birds not being real, we did not land on the moon. And because we didn't land on the moon, now this is turned into this conspiracy theory that's now seeped into the NBA and guys like Derek White. Tone,
can I pause you for a second and ask? Do you mean this?
And you're like, hey, do you believe we landed on the moon? And I don't think we did. I'm the non-moon landing guy.
There we go. Yeah, here we go. Unbelievable.
Sounds about right.
Now, let me tell you something about my co-host here, my illustrious co-host here. He has the unique ability to pinpoint things and put a compelling argument together, even though the facts are in hand, right? So with the 1969 moon landing with Neil Armstrong, who was absolutely there.
Who said he didn't land on the moon? Yeah.
Okay, he did not say that, Tone. That's
yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Like what I don't.
He said we filmed this on a soundstage. Quoted as saying it 100%.
So
I don't have to twist anything. All I have to ask is this question: do you believe the government is 100% honest with you?
No, I don't believe that.
Okay, so right off the bat, there's a question. 2, how is there a camera already set up there to record the first steps? 3, if the sun lights up the entire planet, how come you don't see any stars from the moon?
That's because there's no. Okay, first of all,
what? That's because there's no what?
Because there's no air up there. So because there's no air up there.
So if you're in a place with no air, there's no light?
Yeah, isn't that's the idea?
No. Okay, let me ask you. How about this? It took 1 million rockets to get that thing up off the ground. We've tried multiple times and couldn't do it. How did they just shoot off the moon and back to Earth?
So the fact that we did not land on the moon, but filmed it on a soundstage, does that mean we didn't go to the moon at all? Is that what you're saying, Tone? Because
well, hold on. NASA.
Are you saying that?
NASA is telling you we don't have the technology to go back. So we had the technology in the 60s and we don't now, 60 years later. Okay. Sure. 2, they say we can't get through, I forget what it's called, the firmament or whatever the hell it's in the Bible, it's called the firmament, but in science it's called something else. We can't get through that because we'll melt up because of the extreme heat.
Yep.
So we could do it then, but with tinfoil, but we can't do it now.
That doesn't make sense. No. See, that's what I'm talking about. When I talk
here's
about
what the shoe looks like on the bottom. Here's the prints on the moon. How did that happen?
Oh my goodness.
How did that happen? So there's just too many. Okay, how about this? How did Universal Pictures have a globe with the exact outline of where all the continents were in 1920 if we didn't go to the moon till the 60s?
Well, just because I know where it is doesn't mean that I'm going to go immediately. I know where
How do you know what the Earth looked like where all the continents were?
What do you mean, Tone? I mean,
Universal Pictures, was the globe spinning, and it shows all the continents in exact right places.
Yeah.
But we didn't have a picture until 40 years later. How did they do that if it wasn't all just made up?
Okay, first of all, we don't know for a fact that we didn't have a picture. We don't know that.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't know for a
Nothing
fact
went into space in the 20s. We know for a fact we didn't have a picture.
Okay, we also are dealing with flat earthers, right? And there's people who think that the Earth is round.
Crazy stuff.
Now, what you're trying to sell me, Tone, what Tone is trying to sell me is that we don't know what it looks like from in space, right? We don't know what it
looks like from in space in 1920. No, we don't.
We don't know what it looks like, but there's an idea of what the globe looks like. There's an idea of what Earth looks like.
No, they have no idea. They have no idea. They have no idea.
Maybe they do.
It was flat. Then they said it was round.
Yes.
Then every time someone comes up with there's an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where he makes an argument about like how we say, well, all the biggest scientists said this, but all of them were also wrong. And then someone else proved like we didn't know the Earth was flat and then it was round. So my only question is the same thing with Wilt and the 100 points. So let me give the two because they're both very, very similar in this sense. Do you trust the government 100%? The answer is no. Would they lie to us for their own benefit? Yes. Okay. The U.S. had a huge reason to land on the moon before the Russians. It was the Cold War. If they didn't, we would have been inferior. We'd all be speaking Russian right now. Maybe not a bad thing. I don't know. However, did the NBA have a reason to lie for Wilt? 1,000% because they were saying they only made money by buying tickets. So they said, oh, you got to come to the games and buy tickets. Look at the amazing things that happened. A guy scored 100 points. So they absolutely had a financial reason to lie. So if in my world of business and money, follow the money. If there's a motive, that's all I'm saying.
See, this is how I get. I told you that my man had a rant. He said he didn't have a rant. He 100% had a rant. There you have it. So,
I didn't know I had a rant.
Since we're on the subject of rants, Tone, really quickly, I would like to address this. Where Noman says, "Chill, this is all your fault. I know you are so happy about Moses Moody. Steph Curry is still king. Warriors in 6. Now, imagine me being happy about Jimmy Butler tearing up his knee.
No.
Imagine me being happy about Moses Moody maybe having a career-ending injury. Imagine me being happy about the demise of the Warriors. No, this is what I told you. Tone gloats at me all the time, ladies and gentlemen. Tone doesn't gloat at me sometimes. He gloats at me all the time when he's right. Well, guess what? Guess what? I'm right this time. I told you guys.
Yeah, but maybe you're happy because you put that bad juju into the universe.
No, there was no bad juju. No, this was a fact. And the fact is that this team, outside of Moses Moody, this team was old. And they held on to these guys longer than they should have. That's the problem. But when I said that, I'm a Warriors hater. I'm a Steph Curry hater. When in reality, the window that you had to upgrade this team, you closed it. You allowed it to close after the 23 season. And you held on to these guys way longer than you should have. But I'm the bad guy when I say that this team is old.
Aren't you okay with them just like saying, hey, we're going to ride these guys out until they just fall apart? Like we always talk about teams, we always say about teams they're not loyal. Yep. They get rid of their guys. So why should a player be loyal if a team's not loyal? Well, here's a team that is loyal. Here's a team that is keeping their guys past their prime and paying them too much money. You know what?
Sell tickets.
But let's not complain about them not being loyal then. And then on the flip side, complain about them being too loyal. So that's all I'm saying is, if you're gonna, have you ever complained about loyalty?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well then you've never said the teams aren't loyal.
Oh, yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you meant. But here's the difference, though, Tone. The difference in that is, I have no problem with you riding this thing until the wheels fall off. I have no problem with you wanting to roll with these guys until they can't play anymore. Stop trying to sell me that they're still what they used to be. Stop trying to sell me that. That's my problem. I don't have a problem with Steph Curry. I don't have a problem with Steph Curry still being one of the 10 best players in the league. I don't have a problem with Draymond Green being an elite defender. I don't have a problem with that. But stop trying to sell me that because you have Steph Curry, I know for a fact, I'm not thinking this, I'm not on the fence about this, where I know for a fact that in order to compete for an NBA championship, you have to be able to consistently play at that level deep into the playoffs. And he has proven over the years that I can't still do that. I can't do that.
Hold on. If you agree that Steph Curry is still a top 10 player.
Yep.
You agree that Draymond Green is still a top 10 defender in the league?
Maybe 15.
Okay, 15. Jimmy Butler's still a top 20 player in the NBA?
I don't think there's 20 players better.
Okay. So if I have a top 10 player, a top 15 defender, and another top 20 player, I'm in contention. It's on me as an organization to put all the pieces around them, which I think if you look at the Gary Paytons and before the terrible injury, the Moody's and who they at the time they had like Trace Jackson Davis and Post and Pods, like they had pieces, not well-known names for the casual fan, but guys who can do certain things. And we've always talked about for an NBA franchise to win a title, everything has to go their way. Let's be honest. They got to get lucky, the bounces, all that stuff. But most importantly, they need a number one guy, a number two scorer, a defender, and some rebounding. Now, I still think they lack the rebounding. However, they had the majority, 3 of the 4 pieces that you need to be successful.
Yep.
I don't think they were selling a bill of goods. I don't think they were like, let me think of I don't think they were the Brooklyn Nets telling you, hey, we're competing for a title. Like they were there if healthy, if everything went their way. They were in the conversation if they stayed healthy. The fact of the matter is they're not in the conversation because everybody got hurt.
Yes, and everybody got hurt because they're old. That's why they got hurt, Tone.
Old people can be healthy.
Yes, old people can 100% be healthy. But you know what makes old people healthy, Tone? Younger people. Absolutely. Younger people, they absolutely put some time on older people. Prime example would be your favorite player in Magic Johnson. I think Magic extended Jabbar's career for another 5 years. I'm convinced that he played longer because of Magic, of having a young guy like that, a young star like that. Only except they didn't do that, Tone. They're getting old, really good players who ultimately are going to break down with a history of injury, like buckets. Steph Curry just turned 38 last week.
But he doesn't have a history of injuries.
No, he's just old, and that's the problem. And you saw what happened to him last year in the playoffs. He broke down. Primarily, I'm not just saying because a hamstring injury could happen to anybody, but it's more likely to happen when I'm older.
Okay, but we've seen
the same injury that he was nursing the entire season.
We've seen old championship caliber teams win,
such as
the Bulls.
Okay, the Bulls,
Spurs,
right?
We've seen them win. So heck, we've even seen the Warriors. They're not that far removed from adding Wiggins and winning a chip,
right?
And Wiggins isn't better than Jimmy Butler.
No, he isn't. But here's the difference with that, though, Tone. The difference with that was when they added the Spurs, for example, when they had Tony Parker, who was long in the tooth, but still viable. When they had Duncan, who was long in the tooth, still viable. When they had
nowhere near who he was.
Yeah, long in the tooth, but still viable. But you know what else they had? They had a bunch of really good young guys like Leonard. They didn't have that with the Warriors.
Other than Leonard?
Other than Leonard. So let's see. They had Danny Green, really good young player. Yes. Really good. I think Danny Green's better than any role player that they have on the Warriors right now.
I would say Pods is just as good as what Danny Green was giving.
I'll take Danny Green, better defender, better long ball shooter. I'll take him over Pods any day. Absolutely, I will. So
in today's NBA, I think they're equivalent, but okay.
So Danny Green, Kawhi Leonard, who is a generational defender.
Listen, Kawhi Leonard, 100%. Yeah, you're not going to get an argument from there. But after that, I think is where.
We didn't have anybody. We didn't have anybody else to. I feel like we didn't have anybody else to supplement the guys like we depended too. When you got an old team, they depended too much on guys like Curry, guys like Buckets.
That's what I said to you. That was my first point. So to go back to it, what I said was a top 10 player in Curry, a top 15 defender in Green, a top 20 player in Jimmy Butler. It's the other pieces around that they didn't fill out the roster well enough.
Yes.
It's not necessarily that those three are old, like you're saying. I'm saying they didn't get that supplemental, those pieces around them.
And that's the point though, Tone. You're actually making my point. If you are going to continue riding with these guys, I'm going to continue riding with an old guy in Curry. I'm continuing riding with an older guy in Jimmy Butler. I'm continually riding with an older guy like Draymond. I got to put young pieces around these guys to preserve them. Only except they didn't do that. We're putting the load on these guys and hoping that them other young guys turn out. Only except we don't have time because Steve Kerr has made it abundantly clear that this was one of the best rotations he's had since ever. But with that being said, those guys didn't really pan out. So,
well, he's also done a horrible job. He's also done a horrible job when you think about, the whole Kuminga situation was so poorly handled. He didn't develop him, and maybe there's nothing there to develop. I'm not saying I'm not putting it all on him, but they refused to get rid of him. He didn't want to be there. They didn't want him there. But let me just run down the roster. And maybe it's not Pods. Maybe it's, I don't know, Gary Payton. That's the equivalent of Danny Green. I'm maybe not high on Danny Green, but hold on. If you look at who's supposed to be the starters, okay, you've got Curry, Butler, Green, and it should have been Porzingis.
They just added Porzingis, sure.
No, I mean at the trade. Yeah, I meant for kind of going on.
Yep.
I'm removing them from the list so I can go through. So then you got Pods, Post. I kind of like this Cryer guy because I saw him play. I saw him play in Detroit the other day. Mm-hmm. He looked good. Pat Spencer. Like there's it. Did I mention Gary Payton? Yeah. So just they feel like that was enough. I'm with you. I don't think that was enough. I didn't think, because I think they hung on to Kuminga for too long, and I think there would have been an opportunity if they would have moved Kuminga in the offseason to do something better with him.
The young guys that they had on that roster, Tone. So Tiago Splitter in year 3, Patty Mills in year 4, Leonard in year 2, Corey Joseph in year 2, Danny Green in year 4, Boris Diaw, right? Shannon Brown, Matt Bonner. Like these are the guys that they're supplementing the old guys with. In addition to Pop's system, which is, to your point, much better coaching.
Well, yeah, you already know how I feel about Steve Kerr's inability to coach.
Yeah, much better coaching. So, I mean, I say that to say, Tone, they held on to these guys way longer than they should have, and the fact that I am getting blamed by this goofball about what was going on there is just completely and utterly nonsense. Because I saw the writing on the wall. You guys held on to these guys way longer than you should have. You didn't build the roster around them, and you depended on these guys way too much. And when they broke down, you saw what happened. I don't think the Warriors are making a playoff.
Can I just say, like, this is the shit that, like, we're talking about 2012, 13, and 14. Danny Green didn't make a defensive team, and it was a second all-defensive team, not the first offensive team, until like 16, 17, years later. At this time, he was averaging 9 points a game. He was good. He wasn't great. You guys have this tendency to take the best version of a player and slot him into every single year. In year 4, he was not that guy. I'm sorry, he wasn't that guy. He wasn't what year did he win defensive? What year did he make all defensive team? 16, 17?
I want to say 17, Tone. Yeah, he was on all league defensive.
17. We're talking about 13, 14, 12, 13. He's not that guy. So who doesn't know basketball? You don't know basketball. I'm sick of these people in the comments thinking they know everything. You know nothing.
Yeah.
My family's yelling, saying nothing. They can hear me. My apologies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it is your fault. Bad juju in the air.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
Let's start over here because he's not a superstar, but he did pass Michael Jordan in the all-time scoring list.
Mm-hmm.
Does it mean anything?
Yes, it does. Absolutely, Tone. I feel like this.
What does it mean?
I think that him being a top 5 scorer and what he produced throughout the course of his career, I think this validates his ability to score and the conversations that he's been in as one of the best scorers in NBA history. Because to average over 25 a game for more than 15 years, I think I want to say he's either sixth. He's right. I think he's right outside the top 5, or if he's not right outside the top 5, he's in the top 5 all time in points per game for his career. So, with that being said, I think this validates the longevity of him. I think that this validates his ability to be a versatile scorer, because, and on top of his ability to be a versatile scorer, I also think that it validates him just as an overall bucket getter. And to be able to do it in 3 different decades, to do it in the 2000s, to do it in the 2000s, to do it in the 2010s, and now to do it in the mid 2020s, I think it's nothing short of fantastic. Tone, we have a guy who I've heard countless times about, this is the next Michael Jordan, this is the next Shaquille O'Neal. I don't think that in my lifetime I'm going to see KD again. A guy of that size.
You've heard people say it's the next KD.
And I haven't seen it. And I have not seen it. I don't think in my lifetime I'm going to see KD again. I don't think I'm going to see a 6'10" to 7-foot guy with that kind of handle and that kind of jump shot, and to be able to score at that volume, at that kind of volume. I feel like I don't think that I'm going to see that kind of scoring again in my lifetime. I think Wemby's going to be something otherworldly in terms of an overall play, but I'm talking about as a pure bucket getter, a guy very much like I had this conversation with you, Tone. We talked about pure passers in the NFL, where I said I think Peyton Manning is the best thrower, just pure passer. 3-step drop, 5-step drop, there he is, hit him. I think he's the best that I've ever seen. Marino, Montana, Brady, all of them guys. I feel like Kevin Durant, with him being on this list, I feel like this validates him for being that kind of scorer.
So here's my thing. So he's, I think, 6th all time in points per game right now, behind Elgin Baylor, Luka, who now has played enough games to be in that list, Jordan, Wilt, and I'm missing somebody else. However,
I think him and James average around the same amount of points.
James is below. And dropping this season slightly because of what he's averaging this season. That being said, my question was, does him moving up to 5th on the, forget that he's past Jordan, for him moving up on the list to 5th, does that make a difference? And my argument is no, because his total numbers, everything you said is true. Efficiency, versatility, the points per game, how he's done, 25 plus points per game for X amount of years. All of those things, I'm with you. I agree with you. And that's what makes him one of, if not the greatest scorers of all time. His totals mean nothing.
Why though, Tony?
Whether he's 3rd or 5th or 7th on the all-time list, I've given you so many examples where, like, Robert Parrish, I've told you this before, Robert Parrish has more points than Dwayne Wade and Elgin Baylor and Larry Bird and, all these great scorers. It doesn't make Robert Parrish a better scorer. No one would ever say that, right? Bill Cartwright has more total points than Gilbert Arenas. But if we're talking about who's the better scorer, no one in their right mind would say it's Robert Parrish. So what I'm saying is, you don't need that to be your validation. He could be 1st on the all-time list. He could score 45,000 points and pass LeBron. It doesn't make him a better. That's not what makes him a better scorer than LeBron.
Well,
just like, would you say that John Stockton's the greatest passer of all time?
Would I say he's the best passer of all time? I think that I don't think he's better than Magic, but the fact that he's on, but the fact that he's, but here's the difference though, Tone. The difference is that he actually is on this list, and he's right next to Magic Johnson. Not just because he's an awesome passer, but the fact that he accumulated and produced what he produced over the course of his career. I have to start. I've always been a fan of what you produce. Like, sure, I don't think that Bill Cartwright is a better overall scorer. I don't think he's a better overall scorer than Gilbert Arenas. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to put that kind of context in the same space with Kevin Durant, who is a known scorer. Like Bill Cartwright is not a known scorer. He actually thumbed down his game to be a less of a scorer when he got into the triangle offense because that was Jordan. That's not to say that he couldn't score because he could score. He just dumbed that down.
Okay,
here's Durant on the other hand.
Sure. Okay, I'm gonna read you a list. I'm gonna read you a list, and I want you to tell me approximately because I know you're pretty good at this. And then Darko will get to your super chat. You tell me how many years they've played. Okay. So I'm just gonna go down the all-time NBA list, not ABA, NBA, just NBA.
Just the NBA. That's all we did.
Sure. LeBron.
James has been in the league 23 years.
Kareem.
Jabbar played 20 years.
Malone
played 20 years.
Kobe.
Bryant played 20 years. Malone played 19, actually.
Durant.
KD showed up in 07, so I want to say we're in year 18, either in year 18 or 19. Yeah, something like that.
Jordan.
Jay played 15 years.
Even though 2 of those seasons were 18 and 17 games, we still call it. Sure.
Yeah. Dirk showed up in 99. Dirk played 20 years. Yep.
That one I know. Wilt.
Chamberlain played 14 years.
Harden.
James Harden is still in the league. He showed up in 09. I think we're in year 17 with James Harden.
Okay. And Shaq.
Shaq played 19 years.
So with the exception of Jordan and Wilt, all of them are 18, 19, 20 plus years.
Sure.
So to say they're better scorers, right? When you go down the list, is my point, it doesn't define them. I don't think it defines them as scorers. Like, again, who did I have? John? No. Parrish. I use Parrish too much. Because he's such an easy one to pick on. But like, if you look at who would you think is a secondary, not a great scorer?
Who would I think is a secondary?
Scottie Pippen. Okay.
I think Scottie Pippen is I think he's a secondary scorer.
He's a secondary scorer. Okay. Mm-hmm. So Scottie Pippen. Let me find him here. I have no idea where he is on the all-time list, to be honest with you.
He's not that far away from Curry. Curry just passed him like not too long ago. I think Scottie's still he might be top 30 still.
30? No, he's not. Is he that high?
I think he might be top 30 still.
I don't see him. A lot of these guys are playing now, have played now long enough. Okay. Just quickly, Robert Parrish. Is he a better scorer than Adrian Dantley?
Robert Parrish, I don't think in my opinion, I don't think he's a better scorer than Adrian Dantley, but
Dwayne Wade, Elgin Baylor, Damian Lillard, Larry Bird, he's ahead of all of those guys. I can't find Scottie. Are you sure he's not lower on the list?
He is lower on the list. He is actually, where is Scottie? He wasn't that far away from Scottie Pippen is 68. He's at 18,000.
Damn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is Scottie Pippen better scorer than Bob McAdoo? Mark Aguirre?
No, I don't
Tracy
think
McGrady?
I don't think he's a better bucket getter.
Glenn Rice? Like, that's my point with all of this, is that I understand why you guys look at totals because it speaks to something, but what it doesn't speak to is who you are as a scorer night in and night out. And that's, to me,
actually it does though, Tone.
It doesn't.
Keep going. No, I understand what you're saying, Tone. But
it doesn't show me who you are night in and night out. It shows me, hey, you might have done something for a long time.
Sure.
And that's why I say I'd rather look at your efficiency as a scorer, your versatility as a scorer, your points per game as a scorer, because those things are more important. Because if I played 20 years at 10 points per game and you played 10 years at 20 points per game, it doesn't take much to realize you're a better scorer than me, but I have more points than you. So I'm the better scorer.
But here's the difference though, Tone. Like, I think what you're leaving out when you say that, I think what you're leaving out is, even though your skill set is supreme, the production has to matter at some point. Like, it looks great. Like, what are you producing with this though?
If you and I if you play 20 years and I play 15 and you're ahead of me in the totals by a fraction.
I got 5,000 more. I got 3,000 more points than you.
You played 5 more years.
Right.
So that doesn't make you a better scorer. That just means you played longer.
I did play longer and I produced more. Now, here's the difference though.
No one's hold on. Double agent. No one's talking about LeBron. Relax.
No, we're not talking about him. No, but now because I played longer, that goes into it 100%. It's not just putting the ball in the basket. That simple. No, your skill set does matter. And what you do with that skill set also matters with me. And where you did it, who you did it against, how often did you do it? how long you did it. Tony, if you played 15 years and I played 18 years and I was better in the playoffs as a bucket getter, that may give me the edge over you.
Okay, but again, you're adding in, are you talking per game or total in the playoffs?
I'm not just talking about per game. I mean, I think all of that stuff matters. That not just per game in the playoffs. I'm talking about what I produce total. Because I could have in the Eastern Conference Finals where I averaged 21 a game in the East Finals, and I wasn't great in those East Finals in 3 years. But we got to the NBA championship, and that 21 went up to 26 because I got a better matchup, and my skill set actually in my skill set produced more. So when you're talking about being an all-time great, how long you do it matters. What you produce with your skill set matters. And it's always mattered to me. And I feel like KD.
All you knew was this. If all you knew was this, I averaged 25 a night. I did it for 10 years at 50%. You average 20 a night at 45% for 20 years. You have more total points than I do.
Yep.
I'm still the better scorer.
Because you did it more efficiently.
It was the same in the regular season and the playoffs. It was the same in the regular season.
Because you did it more. So the fact that you played.
I did it more night in, night out, and I was more efficient at it. So the totals mean nothing.
They 100% don't. I completely disagree with that. The reason why I disagree with that, Tone, is because, and I know we got to move on.
We got to move to the next topic, but you haven't given me one argument as to why totals matter in who's
totals matter because I've said that countless times, Tone. The reason why totals matter is because it's a result of what I produced with my skill set. Kevin Durant, who has the most unique skill set of a guy his size, this is what I produced night in and night out. I averaged 25 a game for my career, 26, 27 a game for my career. There's only 5 guys in NBA history who could say that they did that. That matters.
So what's 100%? But if he did that averaging 15 a game, would we be saying he's a great scorer?
If he did that averaging 15 a game, we wouldn't have him on this list.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be validated.
Yeah, he played 25 years.
But it wouldn't be validated because he wouldn't have produced that. What you produce matters. And my argument is the fact that what your skill set is has to coincide with what you produce. If you're just super awesome and you're super nice with the basketball, if you're not producing, then it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I disagree because I think producing is what you do night in, night out, and I'm not going to give an award to someone who just does it for longer. If I have to pick one between totals and per game, I'm skewing the weightedness to per game because that's what I'm going to get in night in, night out, because I only play one game at a time. I don't care that you scored 4,000 points or 40,000 points if you're only scoring 10 a night, and because that doesn't equate to winning. It's night in, night out. You win games night in, night out. No one's giving you, oh, wow, he scored 30,000 points, so his team must have won a lot of games. Nope, they lost them all. It doesn't make sense.
About winning or losing. This is about
no. But it is because the point about scoring is
this is about being a bucket getter. That's it. This ain't about nothing else, Tone.
Yeah, bucket getter. So I got more buckets per night. So that's why the scoring title is per game, not per season, not per career, not per quarter, not per month. Darko. Oh, to go along. Sorry, let me read the first one first. What's good? Do y'all consider Kawhi an all-time great scorer? Kawhi has been averaging 25 a game for the last 7 years on almost 50, 40, 90 splits. It feels like he's not looked at as a great scorer.
I think he's a great scorer. Yeah, absolutely.
To go along with that last super chat, Kawhi also has the playoff production, showcasing how great of a scorer he is over the last 7 postseasons. He's averaging 28 on 51, 39, and 88 splits.
I don't think that there's anybody that doesn't think that Kawhi Leonard is a great scorer. I don't think that there's anybody who doesn't believe after watching Kawhi Leonard, not just in the regular season, but in the playoffs, think that he's not a great scorer. So I say that to say there's other, I think you can have a conversation with him and other great scorers in the NBA. I do believe that.
And so here's a great example of a guy who is a great scorer, but because of injuries and degenerative knees, hasn't played enough. And if we look at Kawhi Leonard, like how far down is he on the all-time list? Like he is, like, do we even know how low he is on this list?
Kawhi Leonard is wow.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. And
you got to scroll a whole lot.
Where is he on the list? Because I think he's got like 14,000 points or something like that. If we're talking about him, yeah.
Okay, so here's a great scorer, in your words, here's a great scorer who averaged 25 to 28 a night over the past 8-9 seasons, whatever. Do you have any idea where he is on the list?
I can't find him, to be honest with you. And I know that he's on there somewhere. Kawhi Leonard for his career, in terms of totals, yeah, he's definitely on the list. Yes, hold on for a second. I'll find him right now, Tom. Kawhi Leonard is he's at 122. He's below Kyle Lowry, Joe Dumars, Jerry Stackhouse, and Jimmy Butler and CJ McCollum.
122. I did not go down that far. Okay, so 122. Okay, this is a great thing that will prove my point. So you're telling me that Kyle Lowry, Joe Dumars, Mike Conley, Buck Williams, Elton Brand, Drew Holiday, I'll even give you Drew Holiday, Jeff Malone, Kevin Willis, Jack Sikma, those guys are all better scorers than Kawhi Leonard?
I think Kawhi Leonard has a better skill set than him, but what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to discount. I'm not doing that. No.
Is he better than Otis? Is he a better scorer than Otis Thorpe?
Yes. He's got a better skill set. He's got a better skill set than Otis Thorpe. But this is what Otis Thorpe produced. This is what I produced. You being able to hold up, that matters. The fact that you're
produced 14 a night.
Okay, and you literally just told me, Tone, if you scored 15 a game for 10 years at a ridiculous efficiency rate, and I scored 20 over 10 years at a lower efficiency rate, you're a better scorer than me.
No, I said 25. I said 25.
25.
Yeah, not 14. 25. I had 5 more points a game.
What the point that I'm making is a guy like Kawhi Leonard, one of the main reasons why, like he just said 7 years at 28 a game in the postseason. Okay, first of all, that would be since 2019. So for the last 6 years, he broke down in the postseason. So with the exception of last season, that's just not fair at all. That's just not fair to say that at all. He only played 2 games and he broke down. That stuff matters to me. I care about that sort of stuff. So the fact that your skill set is unique, the fact that your skill set is elite, I think that does matter. I'm not going to argue that. What did you produce with that skill set? Well, I wasn't able to hold up physically. That's a you problem. That's not a me problem.
But that's a
you problem.
But that's my point though, is your health does not take away from your ability.
Yes, it does, Tone. Yes, it does. Because you're not available to do it. Just because physically you look better than me and you can run faster than me, but we get to the 80 meter mark and then your tire blows, but I can keep running. Yo, you only faster than me for 80 yards or 80 meters.
No. See, that's a bad analogy. The better analogy is you and I are running 100 meter. Okay, there's 10 events this season. I can only come to 6 because I am injured the other 4. But in those 6, I run a 9.99. In all 10 of them, you run a 10.2. I'm better than you. I'm faster than you. Just because I couldn't compete those 4 times, I'm still better than you.
That's a you problem.
No, that's a you problem that you're not fast enough. You're not fast enough. You can't beat me. You can't beat me. Speaking of old people,
since we
I don't even know where we are. We might have been on for 2 hours. And I didn't even know. Paul George is lying. This is what I should have ranted about. Paul George is lying that I was injured and I was dealing with mental health. And I'm not a superhero. I had to take drugs.
I to be honest with you, before you, and I know how you feel about this kind of stuff, Tone, but when you get to that point where like we come into the other side of it and you're not ready to let go yet, you are looking for something extra. Yeah, you are looking for something that can help you prolong this just for a little while longer. The mental health problem, the mental health issue, I got a problem with that. Because there's people that's dealing with real problems. Like there's people who have real problems out here. Like when I say real problems, Tone, I mean like, yo, they struggle to get out of bed and function every day. You, on the other hand, are telling me that, yo, you're dealing with mental health issues, and I got a huge problem with that. I do. I have a huge problem with that. What he's trying to do is he's trying to not supplement it. What he's trying to do is he's trying to give himself an out. Like, yo, I'm sick. To be honest with you, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, Tone. It sounded to me like a drug addict. It sounded like a drug addict that's telling me that, yo, I'm sick and I got problems.
A drug addict. It's just an addict. It could be a drug addict, a gambling addict, or whatever. It's an excuse that he's making. Oh, here's all the excuses. You know what? Yeah, mental health issues. Go see a psychiatrist. You can afford it. Get off the damn podcast. Okay, go sit on the couch and have a conversation with someone. And guess what? There are safe, legal drugs that he can take if he's dealing with depression and that stuff.
Absolutely.
So when you're a professional athlete getting paid millions and millions of dollars, people say, oh, they're human. Yeah, but they're held to a higher standard. That's why they get paid the money that they do, because they're held to a higher standard and they have different rules.
And they know that too. And they know that too.
Like, of course they know it. It's in their contract. It's in their contract. So, you can feel sorry for him as a human being. Pill popping P is just wrong. But you can feel for them as a human being, but also you have to understand. Yeah, they're human. Yeah, they're going to make mistakes, but you have to also be held accountable for those mistakes, and you need to own up to them.
And and even if that's even to expand on your point, Tone, the fact that you're going to make mistakes, there's certain things that you're not supposed to be doing. Like, there's things that I'm going to screw up, and I get that, no doubt about that. But there are also things that that I'm not supposed to be doing this.
And listen, I'm even going to give him an out, because I get it. You see it every day with drugs, with gambling, with whatever other stuff, right? Like, they are human beings. They're going to do this stuff. My only issue with this is, I've said it throughout my career, dealing with mental health. I'm not a superhero. I'm human. I made a mistake in that moment. Okay, well, I guess he did say he made a mistake. So maybe my understanding was that I read the rest of the quote, which was, you should read the rest of the quote, where he's kind of making an excuse. Don't make an excuse. He made a mistake. Fine. And he's going to, and he's dealing with his punishment for it. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as long as you own up to it, I'm good. Mm-hmm. I'm usually in Chill's TikTok morning live. Started a new job. Congrats. So I haven't been able to recently. Would love y'all thoughts on the Hornets mid to late season.
I think I want to say, Tone, since January the 1st, I think they've been a top 5 seed. I mean, they've won. I think they won 4 of their last 5, including 3 straight, by an average margin of 24 a game. Like, they're smoking everybody. With that being said, though, Tone, they're still in 10th place. Like, they started off slow, but they're still in 10th.
Them in the play-in?
I would not. And the reason why I would not, I feel like this group is actually coming together, like, as a real group.
I just want you to know, because you're not watching the game right now, neither am I. But they are beating the Kings right now, and I know the Kings stink. Sorry, Ox. 111-73 with a minute left in the third.
Stomping them by like 40. And by the way, Tone, Sacramento's got 10 guys out of the lineup tonight. So they basically went and got some people off the street to play. Yes.
I wish I was in Sacramento. We could have got a call.
It sound like to me, they might have asked me if I wanted to play. Like, yo, can you strap?
Look at this.
Run tonight?
Okay, so they're up 111-76. Last night they won 124-101 versus the Grizzlies. 130-111 to the Magic. 136-106 the Heat. 115. Oh, they lost to the Hornets. 117-109. Okay, maybe they're playing some bad teams too. But why do you think all of a sudden they're not just winning?
Smoking people.
They are like destroying them.
Smoking teams. Absolutely. Smoking teams. One of the things that is
it's all your boy, Con Knipple.
Well, no. Just so we clear, I think Lonzo Ball, he just not Lonzo, LaMelo Ball, I'm sorry. Excuse me, LaMelo Ball, he was player of the week. He averaging like 26 a game. He's doing a much better job in taking care of the basketball. I think his shot selection has actually been a lot better. I think, again, Con Knipple has been great. I call him Moose. He's been great around the rim. Moussa Diabate. Moose. he's been great around the rim. Not only has he been great, Brandon Miller actually makes shots. And I think that he puts a lot of pressure on defenses. And on top, since we're on the subject of defenses, the Charlotte Hornets defense has been really good, right? Really good. And I love this kid that they have playing behind Moose and Kalkbrenner. I've said this to you countless times, Tone. That's the Boston Celtics. That's your starting 5-man right there, Kalkbrenner. So I say that to say that this Charlotte Hornets team, I feel like they're in a groove right now. And the way that they've been playing defense and the way that they've been rebounding and playing faster, I mean, they just been smoking everybody, and I love it.
Kobe White has 20 off the bench already.
Tony, what you calling it, man? This team that they have, this team that they playing in Sacramento is a LA Fitness team. That's what they're playing right now. They playing a team from LA Fitness. 10 guys. I'm going to tell you right now.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm going to give it to you really quickly, Tone. So let's see here. I'll tell you right here, Tone. This is who they have out of the lineup tonight, right? This is who's not playing. So no Russell Westbrook, no Nick Clifford, no Precious, no Killian Hayes, no Sabonis, no Keegan Murray, no Zach LaVine, no Hunter, no Drew Eubanks, no Isaiah Stewart. None of that. So with that being said, this is who they actually have in their lineup tonight, right? So in their lineup tonight, this is what they have, and this is absolutely incredible to even see this, because I'm looking at Sacramento's lineup. Half of these dudes, okay, I got DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Baldwin, Maxime, Renaud, Devin Carter, Malik Monk, Dougie McBuckets, Daquan Plowden, Dylan Caldwell. Who are these people, Tone? Like, I know DeMar DeRozan. I know
smoked by the Hornets. Who? My question to you, because then we got to move on, is so they're currently only a game and a half back of 7th, 2.5 back of 6th, 3 games behind 5th.
Actually, 2.5 games behind 5th, Tone. Yeah, 3 games. That's right.
And the Raptors are 12 back.
Sir. Yes, sir.
3 games.
Absolutely.
So 3 games. Is that what I said?
Yeah,
3 games.
That's exactly what you said. Yep, 3 games. Not
3
2.
games.
My fault.
3 games back. This could be dangerous, no?
With Miami losing yesterday, they're going to tie Miami.
Yep.
They're going to move up with Miami.
10 games left. You can make up 3 games.
And Orlando's going to lose to Cleveland tonight. So if Orlando loses,
very clear. The Raptors are.
They could move up to 8 tonight. That could happen.
Yeah. Can I just quickly, and then we're going to move on. We've got 5 topics that we'll do speed round, and then I'm going to get to your 2 questions. Actually, let me answer this one quickly. Do y'all know Kev knows basketball? Yes. I'm assuming there's a follow-up to that. Who's the top 5 big Europeans in the league so far that you both think? I don't understand that question. Rephrase that question. We got a super chat, so we're going to do the super chat in a second. But remember I told you I did this bet with your guy on your show there about where the Raptors would finish? And listen, I'm going to lose. They're not going to finish at 500. I think wasn't that the bet, 500 or better? I said 500 or worse. He said 500 or better. Okay. It's going to be close, but I just want to point out. So I'm going to lose my bet. Yeah, that's okay. I got to buy Ox Pizza. No big deal. That being said, if I know you play the games. I get it. I just want to point out the only reason they're above 500 is because they went on that 9-game winning streak at the end of November. At the end of November, they won 9 in a row. You from that point on, because they beat Utah last night, they've been a 500 team since then. They are a 500 team since. Actually, I wish we would have had this before the game against Utah because they got blown out the night before. They would have been under a 500 team, but they beat Utah and they're a 500 team. That 9-game win streak saved their butts. Saved their butts.
I had them going the West Coast road trip they went on. I had them going 0-5. I didn't have them winning the game on that road trip, Tom.
They're not good. They're not good. They're smoke and mirrors, bro. They're smoke and mirrors. That being said, better midseason turnaround: 22 Celtics, 26 Hornets.
Definitely definitely the 22 Celtics. They were in, like, I want to say 10th place, 9th or 10th place. They end up going from 9th to 10th place to being a top 2 seed in the East, and they end up in the NBA championship. Yes.
Charlotte will not.
Yeah.
Charlotte will not go.
I don't think I'll be if the Charlotte Hornets end up in the NBA championship, I am in the Matrix, Tone. No question about it.
Oh, look at this. He already admitted that the Raptors are getting smoked in the playoffs. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Now he's more fluent. I want to
hold on really quickly, Tone, because Denver FC, which I think is goofy as hell. Denver Nuggets have been 500 since Joker got back. Okay, since Joker got back. Okay, how about they won 5 of their last 7 games, goofball? How about that for an idea? How about the last game that they literally just played? That's the first time that they've had everybody in the lineup without anybody on the injury report. Goofball. How about that?
Don't waste. There's no super chat. You don't read the super chat.
You're
right. But let me say
You're
this.
You're right.
Speaking of teams that are better without their player, are the Lakers? Is it time? Is it time for the Lakers to move on? Are they better without LeBron?
No.
I just want to point this out. They were like 5-4 in their last 9 games. He leaves. They go on a 3-game win streak. He then miraculously comes back and they end up winning, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 in a row, whatever.
Not a coincidence, by the way.
He came back because they won 3 in a row and you realized, oh my God, they can win without me. I don't think he's the difference maker in the regular season for this team.
I think that him playing in
a regular season team without him. However, this is where you and I disagree. However, I think if he plays this third fiddle role in the playoffs,
that's where I was going.
That's where they're better.
That's exactly where I was going with that.
Because you think he's going to be a number 1 option and ruin it.
No, I don't think that. Not anymore. I did. I did.
Changed your mind already?
Yes. And the reason why is because I've seen him now play in that complementary role this way. Like, I've seen him play off the ball, and I've seen him play, like I saw him play behind Irv, and I saw him play off of Anthony Davis. Like, he's been trying, he 100% has been trying to, right? He 100% has been trying to hand the keys over for years. But with that being said, right? With that also being said.
Do you honestly believe that in your heart of hearts?
Yes, I do.
He's been trying to hand it over?
Yes, I do believe that he's been trying to hand the keys over, but Irv wouldn't take it because Irv wouldn't take it because Irv wanted his own thing. Anthony Davis wouldn't take it because he couldn't hold up, unfortunately. And I think Luka is the only one who has no problem doing it. No problem whatsoever.
Yeah, that's all Luka knows how to do. I disagree. I think he's been fighting, wanting to give it up. I think he might think he wants to. He might say he wants to. I don't know that he can. But let's stick with him for a second. Teams aren't expected, shocking, to offer LeBron $50 million annually in free agency, per Ramona Shelburne. The door is open for return to LA if he's willing to take a pay cut.
What kind of pay cut are we talking about? Because I'm not playing for the league minimum. I can tell you that right now. I'm not doing that.
25 mil? 2 years?
No. That's a little bit of money. Absolutely not.
No, it's not. You know why?
Why?
Because he's not going to play the second year. So we're basically saying we're going to give you $50 million for 1 year, but you know you're going to retire. This is your last season, so I'm going to give you 25 for 2. So it doesn't.
Oh, $25 million a season for 2 years. So like, 2 years. So basically, what?
25 per.
25 per.
We give you 25 per. Yeah, so 50 over 2 years. You're only going to play the 1. I'm still going to pay you, but then it helps me from a salary cap perspective. You still get the $50 million, and you have your farewell tour.
I don't hate that logic. I don't.
I still think he should go to
Cleveland.
Yeah, end his career in Cleveland. I still think he should end his career in Cleveland.
I think that I don't think that that's something that he would be against, but he's just been in Los Angeles for so long. I think that he would retire.
I know. I think his longest tenure has been as a.
Yeah, this is, what are we in, year 8?
I get it. Yeah. Listen, the greatest franchise in history. I understand
he's why you're for 8 years. Absolutely.
I just feel like the Lakers have their next version of themselves, who they're going to be. It's a Luka, Reeves, whatever. And I think Cleveland, after they disappoint everybody again in the playoffs, will be like, hey, How do we sell some tickets? How do we do something and still be in contention? I think you slide LeBron in there. He has a nice farewell tour. He gets to wear, the Cleveland colors again, his home team. I think that's a better story. I think it's a better story. And let's be honest, that's what we're doing, right?
Yes, that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a narrative. Absolutely. And with him playing that last year in Los Angeles and him saying that, this is my last year and I'm going to retire after this year. Yes, I think that's a big deal. I think that we can create a narrative. I think that we can make a whole lot of money, very much like we did with Bryant with his farewell tour. Imagine that. 2 farewell tours in 10 years. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure the Lakers want. No, see, here's the thing. I don't think the Lakers want to do that. Had it been Jeannie Buss, yes. I think with the new ownership now, who's going to be spending a ton of money. Don't forget, they didn't even have a scouting department under the Buss family. So this the owners who own the Dodgers and stuff are coming with a ton of money. They're going to bring in all new executives, a new coach. Let's be honest. Sorry, JJ, you're gone. They're going to bring in scouting. Really? Yeah, I think you're going to see a whole new revamped everything. And they're going to build around, hey, this is our future. We got Luka now. Let's assume for the next 10 years.
We emptying all the coaching staff. So we added the James business. This coaching staff, we're done with these guys. Even though we got a really good coaching staff, if I'm being honest with you, we're gonna get rid of all of these guys. We added a James business, and we're gonna build this team around both Luka, Austin Reeves, and whoever else we're able to bag.
Yeah.
Does Luka want to be around for that?
They have the most money available this offseason. They're going to want to make a splash because they've realized what they didn't do at the end of Kobe's career when they stunk. They didn't have a plan, right?
They did not.
So now they're this like I said, had it still been the Buss family, I would have been saying the exact opposite. Because of what I know about these guys, how they ran the Dodgers, they're not going to wait around for nostalgia. They're just going to be like, hey, if you want to come on, we're not in the, in the wheelchair business. We're in the championship making money business.
I do think that they're out of the LeBron James business, especially at that price.
And can you imagine him going somewhere else? Like, could you imagine him in another uniform?
No, outside of Cleveland, no.
Yeah, other than Cleveland or LA for his last season, I don't think he should go.
I think if he comes back, to Los Angeles. I just don't think it's for a little bit of money, Tone. And when I say a little bit of money, I mean like 20, 25. I think it's something. I don't think it's 50 million, but I think that we can come to like what you talked about. I think we can come to.
Like I said, I to make sense for the Lakers, it would have to be whatever number he wants for one season, whether it's 40, 50, whatever, split over 2, and then he plays the 1, and then everybody's happy. We have, you know what? do you want to do the last week's leaders?
Let's do that.
You care about that? I don't know if you care about this.
Let's do that.
So last week in the NBA, this is just for the week. The number one, I can't even believe some of these numbers I'm going to say. Points per game last week, just for the week, guys. Luka Doncic had to play minimum of 2 games, by the way. Averaged 42.3 points per game. Josh Giddey, 11.7 assists per game. Giggity. Bam Adebayo, the number 1 point getter in one NBA game ever with 83. He averaged 15.5 rebounds per game. Yes, Bam Adebayo has the number 1 most points in one NBA regular season game. Yves Messi, 3 blocks per game. And Tyler Hendricks with 3.3 steals per game. Those are your NBA leaders last week. We have to end on this one. We have to end on this one because it's kind of a combination. Sorry, we're going to skip the draft. We can do that next week because the draft is a long time away. Wemby, my MVP, my defensive player of the year, and my finals MVP, Wemby, was asked, like, what is your case for being the MVP? And he said, defense is 50% of the game. I believe I'm the most impactful player defensively in the league. We almost swept OKC this season and dominated them. Facts. Offensive impact is not just points, also facts. He made his case. Do you believe?
Yes, I do believe him. And Tone, when did we go away from guys campaigning to be something? if I'm not mistaken, Tone, if we rewind the clock back to last year, can you tell everybody that's tuning in, Tone, how Draymond Green ended up in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation?
Because he told everybody he should be.
Did he not tell everybody that, Tone?
100%.
He 100% was like, yo, how come y'all ain't paying attention to me? Hi, over here, Defensive Player of the Year.
Do you know why it stopped?
No, I don't.
Because these players thought they were too cool. And they're like, I don't want it. I don't need it. I just want No, I want MVP. I want people. I want all NBA first team. I want it. Like, go out to say it and then play it and prove it. That's what I want in a player. I don't want Peterson on Kansas. I know I said we weren't going to talk about the draft, but who's just like, I don't know if I want to play. No, I'm getting Ben Simmons vibes. I don't want that. I want a guy who wants to play, who wants to win, who wants the awards 1,000% every single time. This is why I love Wemby.
And Wemby's campaign, and to your point, Tone, he is looking at Joker. He is looking at SGA. He is looking at Luka and going, I'm better than all of these guys. I'm not better than Joker. I'm better than all these dudes. He is this. Everything that he told you, Tone, is nothing short of, I'm the best player in the league. I just haven't said it.
For him.
That's basically essentially what he's saying. I'm the best player in the league, and y'all just don't see it yet. I am the best player in the league. Forget Joker, forget Luka, forget SGA. I'm the best player in the league. I dig that. I 100% dig that.
I love that. But if you listen to some others, like Carmelo Anthony, who shouldn't be talking because he has no idea what an MVP is. The players, he doesn't know what defense is either. The players know who the real MVP is. That's all that matters. To me, I think it's clear cut. I think it's SGA, best team in the NBA, best player on the team. That's hard to argue. That's not what the MVP is. The man's averaging 30. When you see an MVP, you know it. None of what he said matters in the MVP race.
It is not. Because we've seen, Tony, I could go back from 88 and go all the way. I could go back from 88. I mean, Jordan won the league MVP in 88, and their team was in third place. I can go as recent. Joker won the league MVP in 21. They were in third place. Joel Embiid won the league MVP. They were in third place, right? I mean, Kevin Durant won the league MVP when he was in Oklahoma City. They were in second place. They weren't the best team in the Western Conference. I mean, winning does matter. We do that. But that doesn't mean that you got to be the best team in the league. Steve Nash won the league MVP. Phoenix was in third place, Tone. Right. So I say that to say, just because you are on the best team, just because you're the best player on the best team in the league does not mean you're the league MVP. That does not mean that at all. No. Do
you think
I'm not making that argument for SGA? No, I'm making a different argument for him.
Yeah. Do you ever think we'll have a time when we have criteria for the MVP?
I think we do, Tone. And I think that's where you and me, where the divide is. I think we do. I think that one of the things that's always been apparent is winning. Winning has always mattered. You don't have to be the best team in the league. There's exceptions. But there are exceptions. Very few, but there are exceptions. You winning, what you produce, your availability was always, but the exception, I want to say with the exception of Giannis, I think over the last like maybe 20 years, the league MVP has played 70 plus games or more over the last 20 years. Your availability matters. The fact that you're winning is what matters. What you produce as what you, not necessarily on the defensive side of the basketball, but what you produce overall, that matters. Like what you score, how good you are in the clutch, how good you are on the road, all of that stuff matters.
But then you have all these exceptions, right? You have the Jokic's, you have Donovan Mitchell not getting a sniff when he was the number one seed and producing and doing all that stuff. So I don't know.
I think that we are moving toward that concrete criteria with the 65 game rule, which there's some people who scoff at it and they think that it's going to be amended, where there's some people who think that it's going to go away. It
won't get amended. You know why it won't get amended? When was the last MVP who played less than 65 games?
I think it was Bill Walton.
1976, 77, whatever year what that was.
I want to say 74.
Whatever. Okay. Yeah. A million years ago.
Yeah. I want to say 74. Yep.
I was what, 10 years old back then. Yep. It's not. So the MVP has always been, and to that point, I think the 65 game is ruled because I hate guys playing 40 games and making an all defensive team or an all NBA team. I think that's nuts. I don't even like bench players who play 20 minutes a game winning those awards because it's not fair, because they're not playing a full game and they have no responsibility other than that one thing.
Like Asor Thompson, who's going to be first team all defense, Tony. He's only averaging about 24 minutes a game. He's going to make the all defensive team.
Yeah, but you know what? Man, I was in Detroit this weekend.
He is incredible, though, Tony. Yes, he is.
Even without, look, this is no indictment on Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham deservedly was in the MVP conversation for how good he is, and without him, they're lost in the playoffs. But man, Jenkins stepped up. Thompson played ridiculous defense. Now, granted, they were playing the Warriors. But man, I love the atmosphere in Detroit is still just fantastic. I love it. It's my favorite place to go watch a game now. So
yes, sir.
I'm going to say goodbye to TikTok. I don't know if you're going to say goodbye.
I am too. Absolutely. It was good to talk to you guys. You know where to find us. You know where to find me and my man Tony. Absolutely. We will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water. Don't drink and drive. Amen. Call your mother. Well, last time you talk to your mother. Call your mother. We will talk to you guys soon. But until then, take it light. But take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys tonight. This was dope.
Whew, okay. Goodbye, TikTok. One day I'll figure out how to do that in one. Do you want to do the draft, or do you want to have one? We have one person who's
we got one guest and we got to get out of here.
Or one guest, we're out of here. Okay.
We got one guest and we got to get out of here.
In that case, you know, I got to do. I gotta find it first, which is, you know, I have too many. I have like 8 screens of music and music and sound effects on here.
What up?
And like sometimes I forget where I put stuff. So it's like not, you know, it's not as good as it should be. But if I bring this person up, I promise I might have his music. So
all my fellas. All my fellas. All my fellas.
Yeah. What up?
The last segment. My two cents.
What's good, fellas? I appreciate y'all bringing me up. I'm gonna try. I watched the whole show, so I'm gonna try to touch on some things we already talked about.
Next week.
Yeah. Real quick is what's a good one to start with? And from all the stuff you said, now I just go off in that.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
It's up to me?
Yeah, you whatever you was watching. What's on your mind, brother?
Okay. We can do the Luka thing. About the MVP. Well, we'll go MVP race. That's a hot topic.
Yep.
Now I understand. This is Luka's MVP winning that's his Super Bowl. So we good on that. I don't think he really cares that much about the championship because the dude is lights out. If you know basketball, the dude lights out. I don't care nothing about slow and all of that. Now, when I'm in San Antonio, I get a chance to holler at the Spurs and be engaged in it. Wemby, before he played one game in the NBA, he's a better player.
He was already anointed.
He was anointed. So I'm like, I don't understand the big discrepancy when people trying to compare different players. Okay, you might have a better NBA career or whatever. You can say that because you say first day, I haven't played yet, but that doesn't make you a better player than this guy. And this is where the arguments come in. I was like, come on, bro. If you ever seen some of these guys play, it is like, it's phenomenal. You know, if you go to a couple of these games, you look at the guy, they're giants and they have the athletic ability.
You think Wemby's better than Luka?
Oh yes. Yeah. That's not even close. But you can put a caveat on it.
Wow. You think he
you can put a caveat on it if you want. And say he's better at this or you better at that. Because they don't even play the same position. I don't like comparing guys that play a different position or different role. Right. So it's harder to do those guys. I can't compare centers to Allen Iverson, in the game of basketball. That's unfair. First of all, they didn't even get asked to do those things. It's a difference between you getting asked to do something and you can do it, but you didn't.
Like I got asked that in the past. Like, is Karl Malone better than Allen Iverson? I'm like, come on, man, don't do that. No, that's not finished.
He didn't get that. He didn't even get asked to do certain certain things in that nature. But hey, don't run. Hey, Fluent, don't run LeBron out, please. Don't run him out of don't run him out LA. I know we looking at it like it's the end. I got one.
Run him out of LA, or you don't want me to run him out of the league?
No, LA. He ain't going out the league yet.
Okay. No, I don't think. I don't think he should.
No. But we know that return on investment was pretty doggone high with LeBron. Anywhere he goes, the return on investment is still going to be high. That money they talk about, $50 million and the stuff.
They'll
make that
back times 10. They'll make that back times 10.
Times 10, bro. I was like, people not even looking at. I mean, you know how many times I got pissed off when the Lakers would come or different teams would come, and the guy he was in street clothes like Anthony Davis. Man, think about it. I saved up $3,000 for courtside seats, and my favorite player or players didn't show up. That's kind of unfair to the league, and that's where we at right now. I hope they fix it. I don't think it ever be fixed. They used to play back in the day. That's
Absolutely.
not. They're doing that Peterson stuff.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. I appreciate you, man. I know y'all short on time.
Good to talk to you, brother. We know where to find you at, my man. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how I did that poll, and I don't even know if people could vote. I just saw a new button on StreamYard, and I thought, hey, I'm gonna press it,
and it worked. Yes, sir. It worked. So,
oh, hold on.
Dope.
Peace out. Do you want a little?
You know what?
But it's us, ladies and gentlemen. My man Tony Tone and me. You know where to find us at. Every
red version. We got a red bottle, and we got a David Beckham version here. And we got a blue version.
Yeah, you didn't want water? My bad. I'm out. My bad. My bad.
I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yo.
Control yourself.
Good to see you this evening. That right there, that's my man Fluent. I'm Chill. Every Tuesday night, this is where we are on the Fluent and on the Sports Fluent Network and the Chilltown Hoops Network. We will see you tomorrow, 8:30. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. The last time you talk to your mother. Call your mother. Talk to you guys soon. But until then, take it light, but take it. You would think that.
Thanks for watching Fluent and Chill. Don't forget to like and subscribe every Tuesday at 8 p.m.